Hey friends, welcome to That 1870s Homestead. My name's Rachel and I've got you in the kitchen with me today making lunch. And I think we've shown this recipe before, making what we call Taco Slop. And it's just a pint of ground beef that we've canned. And it comes together really fast. And you can use it like burrito stuffing. You can use it as like nacho topping, chip dip, whatever. And a lot of you saw a recent post that we've made about I finally got the perfect tortilla recipe after many recipe tries, because there's lots of them out there with different variations, and finding the one that meets your needs or your desires for what makes a good taco shell from a flour tortilla perspective is different for everyone. And so really the purpose of today's video was to share that recipe with you. But I had to make them because we're having Taco Slop for lunch. And so now I'm going in with a can of pinto beans into my meat. And we're gonna get this cooking while the tortillas have been mixed up and they're resting. I'll share that recipe with you here in a minute, but I want to get this going so that as the tortillas are coming off, they're ready to be consumed. All right, so let me grab a spoon. And every time we make it with whatever we feel like making it with that day, so make it your own. I'm going in with probably a good tablespoon of cowboy candy. Okay, let's do 2. And some of my super spicy taco seasoning, maybe a tablespoon. And we'll go in with a lot of extra cumin because I love cumin. Well, not that much. And we'll just get this warm, and then all I do is I go through and mash the beans all together with the meat. And you can serve it with salsa, put cheese on top. We like to sometimes mix the cheese even in sometimes. Today I think once this is warmed and smashed through, I'll probably just sprinkle the cheese on top. But as you'll see that there's quite a bit of water content in the pan, so we're going to cook that down. The beans are going to absorb that a bit when you smash them, and that's all I do is I go through with my spatula and just smash the beans as best as I can. It's really yummy. It's a snowy day. I think you guys can see it's just blinding white outside because it's just been snowing all day, and cold. It's going to be like 6 tonight, so this will just be something warm to fill our bellies. All right, but I think I need to let my taco shells, the dough, rest about 10 more minutes, and I'll bring you guys back when it's time to start cooking those up. Let me tell you how I mix together the tortilla recipe. And I've only ever made the full batch once, and because I knew we were gonna have like a lot of leftovers. So the full recipe is 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 of a cup of oil, so I use avocado oil, and a cup of warm water. And I usually just use my tap water like at hot. Today I did it with like about 2 cups worth of the flour recipe because we'll have some leftovers, but I don't have anything else on the menu coming up that I need a bunch of tortillas. And so just sprinkle yourself some flour. Oh, and then divide that dough out. So the full recipe will make 12 tortillas. Divide that dough out, and they're about, I would say like 7-inch, 8-inch tortillas. And then roll it in balls, kind of flatten it, and put a damp towel on it and let that dough rest for 15 to 20 minutes. That's key, because if you try to roll it out right away, it's going to want to tighten back up and spring right back on you. And you want to roll these out really thin. So I just go around in a circle, rolling it out, and I get it as paper thin as possible. Oh, I should get my skillet on. I usually set my skillet right below medium. The first tortilla, kind of like pancakes, you know, might take a little bit longer than by the end of it, your skillet, if you're using cast iron anyway, it'll be nice and hot and you might have to turn it down a little bit more. So you should be able to see through it pretty much. So that is paper thin. Can you guys see that? Just super thin. And you know, light's coming through. Get some of that excess flour off. And then I'll set it aside. I'll probably do like roll out 3 at a time, because they will shrink back up on you. And if anything, just hit it with the rolling pin one more time before you throw it on the pan. And then as soon as they come off the skillet, if you have a tortilla warmer, throw it in that. I usually just use like a Ziploc baggie and throw it in that, and it'll keep them nice and tender and soft. And the steam will continue to just keep them nice and warm till it's time to eat. We're not a professional kitchen, so not everything turns out in a circle, but that's okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that one on. So maybe that's like 10 inches, because my skillet's a 10-inch skillet, and it's right about there. So maybe that gives you an idea what to aim for when you're rolling it out. And I have tried all measures of making tortillas, like I said. Different recipes that use lard instead of oil, or a mix of lard and oil, or just different types of oils. Coconut oil, olive oil. Oh my goodness. And this is the first one that we really like. Like, Todd, you know, he's my picky one, and he loves them. And then I think I never, in the past, did this resting period. So I could never get that roll quite as thin as it needed to be. And once I started doing that, we're in business. So you're gonna cook it. Let me bring you guys over to the stove. Okay, see how it's just starting to bubble? That's kind of what you're looking for. It'll happen more frequently. Oh, look at there. And it's about 1 minute on the first side, you know, 45 seconds to a minute, and then flip it back over for, say, like 30 seconds. But my taco dip over here is about ready. All the water's pretty much cooked off. And I'm gonna sprinkle it with some Swiss and Gruyere cheese, and then a little cheddar. And I've got the eye off now, so this will just stay nice and warm in the skillet till we're ready to eat. All right, and then I'll just take it off and throw it in the baggie to stay warm. And then I like to just dust my pan off with that damp towel I was using, and that will make sure that none of that flour is building up and like cooking on their skillet to give it like a burnt flour taste. See, second tortilla does it a lot quicker. I don't overcook mine. I like mine, you know, I try not to anyway. Keep an eye on it so I don't get black spots. And don't worry about poking those bubbles out. Like, so you'll see how this is lifting really high. A lot of air is going through it. I don't fool with it. I just let it do its thing. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. All right, that's been about 3 tortillas. I'm gonna turn my eye down just a little bit. Okay, last one. It was really that quick and simple. You know, I mean, other than the rest time, I'd say give yourself 15 minutes to make your tortillas if you need them for a recipe. And they store great in the refrigerator. If there's leftovers, we zip the bag up, throw it in the fridge, and they come out just as tender and soft as when you made them. Well, there you go, friends. Just one more thing you can set as goals this year to learn some fun homestead homemaking skills. And one more thing you don't have to buy from the store and be dependent on somebody else to make it for you. And it's a really fun one if you got little kids. Teach them some basic measuring skills and rolling and patience for good food. I'm just sprinkling on some of our pickled coleslaw. And I'm gonna eat my lunch. Todd's gonna come in here and grab him one, but see how well it rolls. Oh, roll it tight. It's still just snowing outside. All right. Pretty cool, huh? See you guys on the next video.